Hey everyone, welcome to New Roots podcast presented by Studio 92, where immigrants share their real experience building life in Canada. Today I'm joined by a friend called Prince, originally from Zambia, who was raised in the UK, studied in Cyprus, and finally settled in Canada. We are going to be talking about cultural shocks, adapting to different countries, relationships, survival, and then how it truly means to build home from home. So, welcome, my brother.
Thank you, my man. Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
How are
Thanks
you
for having
doing?
me. All good, man. All good. All good. To make it happen. Yeah.
Uh, so,
yeah.
uh, how has it been? I mean, leaving home from home. How was your journey, or how has the journey been like? Your life or your background in Zambia, growing up as a kid, and then before you left.
Yeah. I'll start with growing up as a kid. Growing up as a kid in Zambia was interesting and much simpler because everyone was like me. I didn't have any racial differences. There's nothing to differentiate me from my peers as much. It was more mainly about energies, and I had a lot of community building me. In Africa, there's a proverb that says that the community raises a child.
Yep.
So I was really raised by aunts, different parents, and how it was in Africa is that every elderly person can be your mother or father. So we listen to everyone who's elderly, and we had that community and the morals, and so I was very upstanding. And especially discipline was a key factor actually in growing up, because the belt or the slipper was not far away.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that is true.
Don't spare the road and spoil the child. So that was very
true.
clear. So of course in modern times now they don't do that anymore, or they resort to timeouts and all these things. But that was essential for my upbringing, and it really shaped me to be the person I am today. Respectful, nice, upstanding gentleman. That of course for other people to tell, but I know how I interact with that. So that upbringing was very essential. Discipline and coaching on how to act in life. And then when I traveled to the UK, the first countries I traveled to was the UK. Very young, I was there in middle school, so that's when I had the comparison. I'm like, okay, so people do come in different shades, like Caucasians and things. But it's the first time I had a group of them, and I was actually the only one in my city. I was in Kent, like one of the small villages in Kent, out in the forest, in the trees. If you talk about people who went to England, they'll talk about London and all these places, which is mixed culturally, so there's not much difference.
Yeah, most people like to live in the cities and everything.
Exactly, yeah. But I lived in the city for about 3 months, and then mom was like, okay, so possibility of me joining gangs or getting into violent crimes. I'm telling you, it was very clear. I went to all boys school, Westminster School for Boys, and all we did was fight, and so much testosterone and adrenaline, and so much, so it was not really good for me. So I then I moved to Kent. I went to a nice middle school which was mixed, and it was more of a home vibe. So it's like farm area and people like that. So it was more of a village type environment, but everyone was curious of who the unicorn was, because I was now the unicorn in that place.
No, yeah.
I did not fit. I was the thorn.
Yeah, you were the foreigner.
Yeah, I was the thorn in everything. And they were like, "Oh, who's this guy?" So I had very different experiences, and but for me, in everything, I approached it with curiosity. So I learned a lot from who I am, and Prince is not only a name; it's also comes from my background. I'm from a royal family in Zambia, but it didn't mean much to the London boys or to the British geezers. I'll explain to them. I'm actually the Prince. What do you mean, like Prince of where? Barosland. What's Barosland? Where's Barosland? It was a really humbling experience. So I talk about I'm from Barosland. Then like, where's that? Okay, Zambia. Where's that? And then okay, next to South Africa. Ah, yes, we know South Africa. So I'm like, I just stopped mentioning it, because I'm like, it doesn't work here. It's not the same. I was treated with much respect when I was raised. I had so much, because everyone understood what the royalty was, and big positions. But then when I left to go to the UK, it was very different, and I was treated like just another human being or some black guy or something. It was not really different in that, but it was very humbling, and it really taught me a lot on how to be humble and actually be curious on, okay, so what do they see and how do they live here, you know. And it's funny because I just to go on a tangent here, in the UK, English is the first language, but they don't speak the English that's from the books. So it's not the same English that we were taught in school. So I was shocked to see one of my friends, I won't out his name, but he couldn't read. He's a British boy. He can't read English. And I'm there like, I was trying to compute that. How is
It doesn't make sense to
It
me.
doesn't make sense to me. It's your language, literally. We are borrowing your language to speak. Even what I'm speaking now, you should know this. But he didn't know. So I'm there like, oh wow, okay. So it really taught me a lot on how different traveling experiences can be. And also further on, I went to Cyprus, and I realized I got addicted to learning new cultures, new people, new experiences, and you know, that's basically how that trajectory happened. I traveled to more countries than that, but each country taught me something, and I learned something.
That's cool. That's cool. So, did you always wanted to like live abroad? I mean, before you left Zambia, did you always saw yourself, one day wanting to make a life abroad, like, or was UK always your first choice?
No, because I was so young, we didn't really have any choice. So basically, the consensus was each child from our large family, the royal family, the idea was to get education abroad, and then you decide what you want to do from there.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Okay. they had that system going for years.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think most of Africans have the same thing. I mean, I remember when after the university, my dad wanted me to push me to, I think it's Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, he wanted to push me to Russia because he wanted me to do a medical course and then probably come back to Ghana and then pick up something that a job that has to do with treating patients. But then I wasn't really
interested.
I get you. Most Africans tend to do that. I've seen it. They try to push you into an area. Sorry, they try to push you into an area, and then, well, with no choice of yours. But
exactly,
then, with no choice of yours. But then they expect you to be able to finish everything and then try to come back home, and then help home as well.
Yes, exactly. I think it's a cultural thing because the previous generation taught us, okay, so the key to success is education. But I was saying the other day on my Instagram, like, I think the key has changed. The door is like, this key is not working. We need to change the key. The key
has changed.
It's not education.
It's either the key or the door.
Something has changed. We need to do something.
That is very true.
Because the key thing now, well, it's funny I say the key, there's no pun intended. The thing that has changed now is the goalpost has changed, because what was needed back then with education was we're going into the industrial age, or you're getting a job. It was very certain. But now we have many PhD holders and graduates in Africa that are sitting home, or maybe they're not even able to even go to the store and do some street vending. Some skills that they lack. But it's a cultural thing, because we're just sort of geared to grind and get education, but without actually understanding, okay, so how does it apply? How do I use it? That's where the disparity happens.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, like you said, the language was even though you spoke the same language, it was both English.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of shock to you to find out that there were English people who can't read.
Yes, that was the shock. And another shock actually for me was the first month with a Scots teacher. One of the teachers was Scottish. I couldn't hear what you're saying for 1 month. I had no idea what you're saying.
The Scottish
accent is very thick.
It's very deadly.
I'm telling you, I couldn't hear anything. And I'm seeing people nodding in class. I'm like, oh, you guys understand what this guy is saying? I have no idea. For 1 month. And I'm like, oh, I have to slow it down. And I can't even try to imitate it because I really couldn't.
The Scottish accent is not.
Yeah. I couldn't hear what you were saying for the 1 full month.
You really need to pay attention.
I'm telling you, yeah. So I paid twice. I paid attention, paid school fees, and I couldn't hear the guy.
It reminds me of a video I saw on Instagram about sorry, these guys entering in this elevator, and then it's a voice recognition elevator.
Oh yes, I saw this. It's a Scotsman. It's like
Is that
second floor, please.
they don't do
They
Scottish
don't
accents?
do Scottish accent. It's only full British or something.
Oh yeah, it was very very funny.
Yeah.
The Scottish accent. Yeah, I mean, even sometimes with true English accent, it's very difficult to understand. Like, it's I've heard people say it, even friends who tried the IELTS
Yeah,
examination. It's very very difficult sometimes
Yeah.
for them to understand because with true English accent, you really have
they
to
speak through the nose. Yeah,
you really have to take your time and then slow it down in your brain. I mean, your mind, and then listen to get it. So yeah, I get it. I get you. And was it the only shock with was the language the only shock that you faced when you got to UK?
No, many things. In fact, we arrived in December the first time. Snow. First time seeing cold things falling from the sky. Snow was the big shock for me. Because we got there, we were like, oh, I have jackets, jumpers. First thing mom gave us was full winter coats. And then, like, what is this? Like, what are we doing here? But the moment I stepped out of the terminal, I'm like, okay, I understand.
You look too puffy.
Yeah, I was looking too puffy. Like, why are you making me look like this? You know, I want to maintain my physique. But then we had no choice. We had scarves. She gave us everything. The moment we stepped out, I'm like, okay, I understand. It's cold, windy, and the snow. And they were like, okay, it looks very nice. One of the things I said that was interesting was that, snow is very nice to look at from inside your house. Not to go out there in the elements. It's cold, you know. But in hindsight, being in Canada, that snow was nothing compared to what.
Oh
what
no!
we
I
have
mean,
here.
the kind of snow that's in Canada, it's crazy.
Yeah. The winters
It's
here minus 20,
crazy.
minus 30.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get shocked how people from the Europe try to compare their snow to ours.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah.
Like imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't believe anything, you should believe numbers. We see minus 30. Yeah, there are parts of Canada that see minus 45. And then you're trying to compare it to places in Europe where you just see your lowest would be like minus 5.
-5, yeah. And then they shut down the schools, by the way. You know, -5, we didn't go to school. Yeah, they would close. They would close the roads because they didn't have salt supply, public transport, everything. So they closed the roads there's one time they closed the school for a week.
For -5.
For -5. And I'm there like,
crazy.
okay, but that's what I knew at the time.
Okay.
Had I come here first and gone there, I'd have told you guys are wusses. What are you guys doing? You're afraid of 5, you know. But I experienced no snow first in Africa, and then -5
Yeah,
and
minus
snow,
5, and
then now the extremes. The next thing I'm going to the fridge. What else can I? What else? I'm going to the freezer. What else can I experience from this?
Yeah.
There's nothing more. Because literally in Canada you can put all your drinks and put them outside.
Yeah, and then
that's it.
it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I got to Canada my first year, there was a guy who, well, I came to Canada 2nd January. So I was right on with the cold. Right on with the cold. I have a similar story with the jacket as well. So I got to the airport, did everything, checked with customs, and I was done. I was like, this place is not too cold. So why are they people saying Canada is too cold? I got out and I was like, I came back in, opened my suitcase, and then tried to find my jacket.
Yes, you need it.
It was cold.
It's good, yeah.
It was crazy cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, like I said, this friend of mine in Perth, what he used to do is he had his bottles of water. He keep them at the back of his window. It cools and it freezes, and then he drinks it. Yeah, he was like, it's better to do it that way than to put it in the fridge.
Put in the fridge. Yeah, what's the point? It's the same temperature.
Same thing. Yeah.
I once made a blunder like that recently. But I think it was last winter. I put a sparkling water can in my car, and I think I went for a trip in Montreal and then came back. I found it exploded. Like it literally, like it froze up and exploded. And I was looking in the car, I'm like, did someone break in the car? I'm like, the windows are open, so windows are okay. So no one took anything. It literally looked like someone broke in because of how much ice was just everywhere. I thought it was glass. But now I've learned, don't put water in, don't leave your water in or any liquids in your car.
Yeah, the cold in Canada, it's too crazy. Yeah, sometimes even when you explain to people don't believe it.
They don't believe it. Yeah. Even my British
just
friends,
too crazy.
they don't believe it. You know, I have to show them. Like I did one video, I was showing them ice skating. Yeah. Okay. okay, but why does he have that big jacket? I'm like, it's cold. You guys have no idea.
It's cold.
Yeah, they
It's
don't
cold.
know.
I've seen people try to create content with the kind of cold here. They fly from the UK, come here, and then go to the coldest places, and then they are shocked that they have to wear. Sometimes you have to wear like 2 jackets or 3 jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 puffy jackets.
And thermals inside
Yes, and
everything.
thermals
Yeah.
inside,
Double
and
layer.
then your boots. You have to buy the boots that's able to hold you or protect you in -30, because if you buy anything less, you're still going to feel the cold in your feet. Your feet
And
will be.
frostbite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had frostbite. I had frostbite my first year.
Oh, yeah.
My cousin Dennis and a friend called Kobe. So we went to we went to downtown Perth to get something, and then it started snowing. But then we walked to downtown Perth, so we had to walk back to our place,
Oh my god.
bro. I mean, when we got to our place, I couldn't feel my feet, so I had to beg them. We rushed into a thrift shop, and then I bought new shoes.
just to stay
Yes,
warm.
I
Otherwise
took
you
off
couldn't
my
feel the
shoes.
toes, yeah.
I wasn't feeling anything. I had to take
Yeah.
off my shoes and then buy new shoes. I waited for a while and then buy new shoes before I was able to continue walking.
Oh my God.
The kind of cold here is crazy. Yeah. So with living in UK and then Cyprus, how would you what would be the difference living, or what would you say the differences living in the UK and then living in Cyprus, and how were you able to adapt to Cyprus after living in the UK?
So I think for me, what helped me even all my life is curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
I approach everything with curiosity, and I'm willing to learn something new. So in Cyprus, I was actually on the north side of Cyprus. So that Cyprus is divided into two territories. So there's the north side and the south side. The north side is the Turkish side, and then the south side is the Greek side.
Mm-hmm.
So they speak Greek on the other side and a bit of English, and the north side is mostly Turkish and a bit of English. So what happened was when I was getting because I went to Cyprus for university. What I did was I did some research. I learned how to say hello.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to say a few words, and I knew those when I arrived.
You went very prepared.
Very prepared. I was optimistic because I heard through the grapevine of my peers, my other students were saying that they were not happy about going there. They'd rather go somewhere else, even if the fees are a bit more expensive. They'd rather go to another country. But I approached it with open arms. I'm like, let me learn whatever it is. I'm willing to learn everything. And I used the few words I learned. One of the first words I learned was interim, which means discount. so when I would go to the store or anything, I would ask, hey, do you have a discount? Immediately. And I would know, like, hey, you have to negotiate. And because I know for sure I'm going to use the word discount.
Mm-hmm.
Sales and negotiation, you have to find a way that that suits. But the cultural thing that was also different was how in the UK, especially London, no one really minds your business. No one is curious enough. Doing what? No one. Everyone's focused. Everyone's like traveling 100 miles away. Everyone's going somewhere. Everyone's busy. But in Cyprus, everyone's curious. They wants to learn. Oh, so what are you doing? You're taking a walk today, and they don't have much surveillance compared to UK. UK has like cameras and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
In Cyprus, the surveillance are the old grandmas.
Oh,
Old
yeah,
women.
yeah,
They
yeah,
see
yeah.
everything. They come and say, "Oh, I saw him. No, he walked here. No, I'm sure he went this way." And the safety thing as well about Cyprus was beautiful because it's like a small village, it's a small island in the Mediterranean, so the weather is lovely. And I actually know many friends from the UK that go to Cyprus for holidays. Lovely place. They go to the Mediterranean Sea. They go to the beach and everything. But the thing that I remember in Cyprus was that the cultural thing, the cultural difference in terms of how people are curious, and also people are willing to ask you questions. How are you doing? What's going on? They want to learn more about you. And also, even though Cyprus has no black people, we as students is a large population in Cyprus, so they're curious to learn more about the students and stuff like that.
I mean, while you're talking, I've been listening to you, but then did you find food an issue when you got to Cyprus? Because me, for instance, I really care about my food. I mean, coming from like a typical African home or a Ghanaian home, where meals are prepared every single day by my mom, special meals. Coming here was, I can prepare almost everything, but then you miss it. Sometimes you miss the food.
For me, I think I was lucky because I was curious. I was one of the guys among all my siblings who was curious enough to go to the kitchen. They say, in Africa, they say no man should be in the kitchen. Some of these things. I don't know if they still do that now, but growing up, my uncles and other men would tell me, "Hey, don't be in the kitchen. Let ladies do what they're doing. Don't disturb them." But I was curious enough to get close, and I was very close friends with my grandmother. It's a thing. Like you can be a friend with your parent. She was so she taught me so many recipes, and I was curious to learn about how to cook and when to add whatever so I could cook by myself. But one thing that I think I'm blessed with is the curiosity itself. I was curious enough to try the Mediterranean food, olives. Cyprus is abundant with olives, olive oil, olives themselves. The breakfast bread, the pita bread that is flat. They eat it with yogurt and cheese, halloumi. Oh, I'm even salivating thinking about it. It's not what I was raised on, but I was curious enough, and I actually got to love it over the years. And we have something called durum. It's like a chicken wrap or doner, all these things. So I enjoyed exploring something new, something different, and because I had that initial step of doing something with open mind. Because in the UK, I didn't have. I was maybe a bit too young as well because I was in middle school in the UK. I didn't really have that broad world thinking. Now, after a couple of years, I was like, okay, so now let me see what else I can learn. What else can I add to my roster? What else can I add to my taste buds? Even music changed. I was listening to Arabic music, Turkish music, everything literally changed, and that actually changed who I am and how I approach things. When I first arrived in the UK, I had the typical Zambian accent. Then after a few months, I was speaking through the nose. Apparently, that's what my grandma was telling me. I was like kind of coke and whatever. I don't even know. I can't do it anymore because I've had so much adaptation with other cultures.
With other
that now
cultures,
it's now diluted.
Gets faded.
It's get faded along over the years. In Cyprus, I was very close with some Arabic friends, so I speak a bit of Arabic as well. So that also adds the L. Let's say please, or the L in some words I overpronounce them. I stress them because of a bit of Arabic, Turkish, the TH, Z comes the Z, but also this is also African as well. The TH is Z. But all these things you can tell them from the mannerisms and how someone speaks. I remember meeting someone and they told me, "I know you're African, but I can't pinpoint your accent."
Your accent.
Yeah, because I've been to all these countries, so I've been adapting and learning, and for me, I think it's curiosity because I have other people that were in these countries with me, but they're not as curious as me, or they didn't learn it themselves. But in Cyprus, I learned Turkish because I used to work with some contractors and the technicians, and then I would supervise and so I'll go there. I was working in the residence, and they would say bad words to me every now and then. They say after a while, I'm like, "Oh, so this is what you're saying, young man."
That's the best way to learn. That's the best way to learn languages.
Yeah, honestly. And I was motivated. I'm like, I'm gonna learn this language and I'll use it against you.
That's always the best way to learn languages. I mean, you have to learn from the insults and then the bad words, and then it pushes you to learn more words.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people have learned other languages. There's a language in Ghana called Ga. All the Ghana words I know are insults.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, all the Ghana words I know are insults. I mean, you still learn the languages as you go, but then you always start learning with the bad words and then the insult. And then as you get closer and then you interact a lot more with people, you start picking up the other words. Yeah.
The other fastest way to learn a language as well is having a Turkish girlfriend or a girlfriend in that language.
I've heard that as well.
That is very important because when she's upset, she'll speak to you in her native tongue, and she'll give you the business. And also tongue to tongue action sometimes just fastens the process. You get me? Fill in the blanks with that information. You need that tete-a-tete, literally.
I get you. I get you very well. Yeah, I get you very, very well. Oh, that's cool. So, now let's talk Canada.
Yeah.
So, being around the world, I mean, moving to other countries, and then finally coming to Canada. Why did you eventually choose Canada?
So I chose Canada because of the UK relation. I wanted something that has the the freedom and
Mhm.
the understanding
Mhm.
and open mindedness that the UK has,
Mhm.
but also has something different, right? Because in the UK, I didn't have good experiences like the first few months because I was in London, and I didn't enjoy the diversity was good, but I didn't enjoy the risk of being into being a roadman. So that's one of the things that I didn't get into. I don't speak like a roadman,
Mhm.
but if I stayed in London a bit more, I would have definitely been a roadman wearing a puffy jacket and carrying a tool. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
left
I
that
get
and I
it.
went to the trees and that
Mhm.
in the forest in Kent, and then over the years I said I picked some things that I like about the UK. The other thing as well about that I like about Canada is that before I came to Canada I was in the US. In the US we have the confidence issue. So in let's say you're working with your employer and you tell them I'm going to submit this report 5 days. You're going to do exactly that. But in the UK you say I'm going to try. There's a decent way. You say, oh, I'm gonna try and do my best. Hopefully, I can do it by 5 days,
Mhm.
or try my best, and then you deliver it sooner. So, but the American will be more aggressive and say, no, actually, I'm gonna deliver it tomorrow,
On the exact
on the
day.
exact day, or even earlier. Like they have that confidence.
Mhm.
So it's that difference. Small things like that.
Yeah. The Americans try to be on time.
Exactly. They try to be on time. No, British are also on time, but I'm
Mhm.
saying the confidence issue and how the I don't know if it's is it I don't know if it's arrogance, but it's sort of the confident or they talk about their expectations and they over explain themselves and they say, well, actually, I'm going to do that. I'm definitely going to do this. I'm going to put myself on the line and do this. But a British person will say, oh no, I'll try my best, but actually they're going to do it. So there's that execution that difference. So I would leaning more towards the British, but also have the opportunity of being
Yeah, being exposed
being
to,
exposed to the
yeah, to the
extrovert and
others.
and being outspoken because most the British culture has the posh kind of thing where you hold back, you're humble, you move
Mhm.
slowly, and that is good at the right time. But then if there's no if I were to stay in the UK, I would stick out like a thumb because of the drive, or the mindset, or the ambition. Because I learned this from all the travels I did. I met Ghanaians. In fact, one of the first Ghanaians I met was in the UK. He went to Oxford. This guy was genius. You know? And for us, Oxford was like, wow. But then upon further review, I realized, oh, so Ghana just has great education system, and the Ghanaians are well driven, and that's why the education is very high compared to us in Zambia. We didn't have that comparison of how much gap could we have with other peers. And also, I think it's a numbers game. Like in Zambia, we have about 17 or 18 million in the country, so it's not really as
Yeah.
competitive as it should. And also, you don't really need to stick out and fight anyone or to
Mhm.
actually be aggressive or to put your point across because there's enough to go around, or so it seems. And when I traveled, I realized, okay, so sometimes if you don't speak for yourself for something, people will speak for you. We have to actually be overtly and be assertive and actually make things happen. That's when I developed this mindset of, okay, I need a place that I can develop myself, be assertive, and actually have impact in the country, and actually have that impact help you. In Cyprus, the key thing that I had the problem with was the services that were, let's say you're trying to help, let's say home renovation services or be a trainer. Many people are capable of doing it by themselves, so they don't need you. And also, America, the competition is heavy. Everyone is in your face. Even social media, everyone understands what Hollywood is all about. But in Canada, there's that opportunity, the middle ground of like, okay, it's people who are a bit posh, but also they have a bit people who are America. So it's that blend that I realized, okay, so Canada is the best place I can actually have impact in the country and actually help many people reach their goals or whatever they want to do.
That's nice. Yeah. That's a so. I mean, uh, saying all this, was the expectations the same when you got here, like your first year? How did you see it? Did it meet your did it everything meet your expectations, or your relationships with other people your first year, your Yeah, I mean, how did everything go?
Yeah. So the key thing for me is I have no expectations anywhere I go. That's what saves me from disappointment or anything.
Mhm.
But for sure, the weather was definitely a big problem on the table because it was such a shell shock. Even from the
The
US, it
weather
was
is always
very
a
very
shock.
different. I was shell shocked. So when the first winter came, I'm like, oh, maybe I understand what they mean when they say seasonal depression. Because you wake up, there's no sun. You go to sleep, there's no sun. So you know what are we doing? And our melanin, and we're born in the sun. We need the sun.
Yeah,
There's some rays we need from the sun.
yeah, melanin. We always need the
We
sun.
need the sun.
We always see it. I mean, you have to until you are in a place like Canada, and then you don't see the sun, and you realize how appreciative you.
How important it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
The sun was very very important to
Yeah.
us.
So the sun was what was the thing that I didn't really like about. I mean, the weather what really shocked me. But apart from that, I enjoyed the reciprocity I received, because in Africa, how I look at it is, I believe by in dimensions. It's a deep talk, of course, but people who understand will say it. I believe Africa is more on the majority is more on the primal aspect of human. Or you survive, you do what you can. Even they speak the words they say in Africa. Now we try our best, we do whatever we can. We try. And then in Cyprus, on the Middle Eastern, it was more of, okay, whatever you think, you try. It's more psychological warfare. And then when I came here, I'm like, okay, so it's more of ideologies and perspectives. So what is your perspective? What do you want to achieve? What are you going for? What is the long-term goal? So I realized this is the difference I had from all those regions, because that is Africa, Middle East, which is Asia, and then
North America.
North America. So that is what I realized. Okay, so this is the difference in how to approach things. And also when you set your mind to something, I didn't get as much reciprocity in Cyprus when I was trying to help. Or like, let's say I did property management, I didn't really receive as much open arms to people needing help. We'll try our best, or whatever works, we'll do it by ourselves, or if this falls down or if this breaks, it's okay, we'll find a way to do it. But me trying to help prevent that was not really appreciated, and I couldn't really open an enterprise properly. But here they have open enterprise. I can actually help people, and people actually want to be helped.
Oh, so you have your own business, and then
Yes, yeah. So I had the same idea in Cyprus. I've had this idea for a long time to do home repair services, or to do something that involves impacting people's lives directly. But I wasn't able to do this in Cyprus or any other country.
That's good.
So
that's good.
Being able to do it here, I'm like, okay, so now I can actually fulfill what I enjoy doing, seeing people happy, and actually having the hands-on experience. Because in Cyprus, I was assistant regional manager in my university, but I'm just behind the computer most of the time, and I would actually leave the computer to go and speak to people, look at the people I'm managing or whatever. And I realized I'm not a person who likes to be behind the computer all day. Yes, I am Gen Z. I was born in the time of computers and things, but I didn't really, not who I am. I prefer to be in person, traditional, to talk to people, actually impact people directly. There's more fulfillment from that. Money will come later. The key thing was fulfillment and actually having impact. Keyword there was impact.
I get you. We are social human beings, so we are social beings. Yeah. So as humans, we always try to, because you tend to feel lonely. I mean, sometimes if you don't get to talk to people, I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, with my company, at the first location where I was in the main office. People came to the desk to ask for help. You walk to people to help them. You always get to talk to people, and then even though as you're helping them with their system issues, you talk about side things, about, let's say, games, sports.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some events that went on maybe over the weekend, and you get to share a thing of you. But then they changed me to a second location, which was also cool. But then I preferred like seeing people and seeing people in person and talking to them every time. With this new location, I was just at my desk. I mean, you could remote into any other user and then help them, which is still easy for you. You don't have to walk from your desk and then do anything for anybody.
Yeah.
But then I always preferred seeing people and then helping them. So I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel you.
Yeah.
And then with what you're saying, with your experience and your first year in Canada, did you ever feel lonely, or did loneliness ever hit? Just like you said, seasonal
Seasonal
depression.
Yes, it's
Did
the,
it ever
the
hit?
first winter I had that seasonal depression. I understood what that meant. I even did research on the term. Okay, this is what this means. Why am I feeling sad all of a sudden? What's this overwhelming sadness? What's going on? And then I'm like, okay, so it's because I'm used to vibrant environment, activities. So what I did was I started enrolling in. I did soccer. So I had to learn how to say soccer now from football. Imagine that's one thing I have a problem with.
I know, right?
Now I think because I just get, I say, it's fine. I'll just keep saying soccer because everyone understands.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we find ourselves right now. I mean,
but in the UK, it was football.
It's football.
It's football everywhere, the rest of the world. Anyway, so I enrolled for football. But then what else did we do? We did rock climbing as well. That's something I did in the UK. I had experience with that. I'm like, let me do bouldering. So we did everything was indoors now because of the weather. That's what I used to keep me busy, keep me occupied. Otherwise, I was gonna have permanent depression because it came seasonally just for the winter. But if I didn't attend to it, I believe I would have fallen, man. Because I remember I would wake up one of the days I woke up at 2 p.m. What do I have to do today? I have no. Just turn over and go back. I'm like, so I said, let me do something. Let me play video games or something. Just to.
You have to get some.
You have to
up
get up and move. Yeah, but the first winter was definitely a pain. Yeah, but I definitely fought through it. And I had helped my brother. Help from just community and friends that really helped me.
That's good. I mean, we've all been through it. Winter depression it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, especially for me, I went through that period when I was still in school, and then I had to deal with school issues. Classes in winter is not a joke.
Oh yes.
8 a.m. classes in winter.
Wow.
Sometimes you are going to class and it's still dark.
And you have to go and smiling. You have to say, okay, I'm fine.
It was not. Yeah. It was not easy, but then one thing I'm also grateful for is, I came to Canada, knowing a few people.
Yes.
So community. I was also able to talk to them. I mean, throughout the time, I was always calling them every single day, so that we both keep each other company.
Yeah.
And then you don't end up feeling lonely and then having crazy thoughts.
Yeah.
Because loneliness is a very, very bad thing. The moment it starts hitting you, and then you realize that it's taking you deep down to dark places.
Yeah, I'm telling you, get taken to the void. You know the void?
Yes, I've heard of the void.
Have you watched the?
Yeah.
I don't know what show that was, but it was about Century.
Yeah, Century. The Thunderbolt.
Yeah, he went in the void. He said, the void.
It's taking you to dark places.
Yeah, man.
And you don't want to go there.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good to always have people around. But then I think it's an experience most people get through it, especially as immigrants. Like if you get here and then you don't have anybody to talk to, you'd go through it. But I also think it's one of the things that people don't really warn us about as immigrants.
No. Yeah.
Or do you have maybe if you have other things that you think we are not warned about properly as for moving from other places to Canada? Because that's what I feel.
Yeah.
People are not really warning us that you can get depression through the winter.
Just just the natural elements that are up to. So it's depression. That's something that is not explained as much. Then the finances, the credit system, that is not explained because in Africa, on most things, you pay cash.
Exactly. If you don't have the money, you don't
have it. Yeah. But here they tell you, here, sign here. Now you have $5,000 that you can spend, and we're gonna bill you every month until you pay $10,000 or something like that. So they don't explain that as well, and that's there's some things that
Mhm.
the also element also about Canada as well. People also don't get into your business as much as similar to the UK. That's the similarities with the UK as well. So no one is really curious.
Oh yeah.
But in America, everyone's interested in your business. You open your phone. What are you doing? Hey. You have the famous thing in America, in America, New York, the famous phrase that the New Yorkers don't like. Hey, I'm walking over here. Someone stepped on him or something, and then they have that sort of Boston and accent or whatever. But we have different stereotypes that actually mean something, and there's some that are actually okay. This is just a speculation; it may not be true, but most of the stuff actually does transfer to real life, and stuff that we don't go through is that depression. They don't explain that, and also there's no flyer. Like who's they to explain? You understand? So we are the ones to educate people before they come. We are the ones. That's
true.
why I appreciate the podcast and understand it's doing great things for the community because we're able to see from people who have crossed the pond to see the difference. On what happens when you go
cross the line, and then you know how it's been.
Exactly, and also one of the things is I also had this mindset that one of my brothers was first to travel. He went to North America as well. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, send me $50, man. What are you doing? Like, you're in the UK, you're over there. You probably made it. Like, the moment you got on the plane and you arrive, like, okay, send me something. He's doing better than me here in Africa. But then upon traveling all these countries, I now understand. Okay, no, I have to work. In fact, 3 times as hard.
Exactly.
But people who are back home, it's difficult to explain to them. Like,
they don't see it the same way.
They don't think I'm just sitting and money just falls out or
they feel like the moment you move something. There's like $100.
It's money, yeah. You pull.
You take a step, $100.
Check your couch, $100. You wake up, it's $100. Like no, it's not like that.
No, it's not like that at all. I had the same mindset as well. I mean, I have uncles in the UK, some in the US, and then I felt, these guys they get money easily.
They should send me.
I mean, if not easily, at least even if it's not easy, whatever you get, it's too much for me back home.
Back here, the conversion.
The conversion is too much for me back home. So if you're able to give me something small, it should be plenty with me.
It should be plenty, yes.
So at
but
least
even that small, you don't have it.
Until I go here and I realize how hard it is. I mean, how difficult it is for you to work and then get, let's say, the minimum wage. That's like $18.
Yeah.
Do you know what you have to do in 1 hour?
Yeah.
To get that $18? It's not easy.
And all they have to do is call you.
Exactly.
That's it. They just pick the phone and call. Hey, send me.
And
imagine that.
Woe to you to turn off your data or don't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, they'll give you all these speeches.
I mean, I've been calling you. Why aren't you answering? And then you reply their message and you're like, I need some money.
Yeah, it's always. It's never anything else. And one thing that I also had to come to terms with about straight about the financial requests from Africa or from people was the financial request is conditional. They just want the money. They don't want your opinion. Let's say you say, oh no, well, why are we doing this? Let's open a business and do this. No. They just want you to keep sending us money until you die. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like we don't want your opinion. We don't want your information.
They don't want it.
They don't want it.
They never want it. Recently, I got a text message from someone who I haven't heard in a very, very long time, and then this person was like, "Oh, the moment let me just say, the moment they texted me, I was like, oh, it's been a while. She was like, oh yeah, it's been a while. I haven't seen you. I hope everything is fine. I was like, oh yeah, everything is fine. And then the next text message was like, I need like 5,000 Ghana, which is like equivalent to this is equivalent to like let's say $60 something. She needs it and she expects she needs it and she expects me to send it right away. And I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. All my money's up. I just paid everything with my monies. I used everything for my bills. And then she sent me that rolling emoji, the emoji rolling. The eye rolling.
Oh my god. They are entitlement. And you are smart. You said no. I for 6 years, brother, I have been doing this financing. By now they should have built a house. But I call back a house. What's happening? Are we doing something? No. We just want you to keep sending.
Yes.
We don't want your opinion.
No,
you keep
no.
quiet. We don't want your knowledge.
For her reason was the reason why she asked of the money was she said she wants to start a business, and then she needs that money, but then she's expecting some savings that's going to be ready. I think in 5 months or 4 months.
Yeah, so let's wait for that one.
Exactly.
So
wait for why are you putting the pressure on me?
And you are smart, man. I should have been saying that. But you know, the key thing now, I'm wiser because I've gone through it. And one of the things I was very blessed with, that there's a thin line between love and hate, as they say. Now, it's why African families, they are very smart. They use that love that you have for them as a lever, pull you back and forth, you know, get finances out of you or to get whatever they need from you, leverage. That's one. Next lever they pull is a very controversial one. They use religion. So what do Jesus do? Come on, send you the money. Come on, come to church. They would wire you. They would drain you dry. And they tell you, no, God is coming. But they themselves were under the same God. How come God is only blessing me? So how come my $5 is more? Is required for me to send to you, not God blessing you directly with $5 or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
And then the moment, you know, the key thing, the quick question I can just tell people about what you want immigrants. Just go broke. Just one time. Just say, oh, I'm broke. You'll see the difference in tone. The entitlement will change. Even the communication will just go MIA. They'll stop talking to you because they needed you for the money. That's it.
Yeah, that's all they needed you for.
Yeah.
You're like a cash crop.
That's it. Yeah. And it's you may look different, or you may look as if you hate them or something, or you may look as if they are evil. But I had the same mindset as well.
Yeah.
The difference was my brother didn't send to me at the time I asked for $50. The same way you said no. They would to someone wanted $60 recently. Then I asked, it was 2006 when my brother left Africa. And then, oh bro, I think you're in the US, man. Send me something. And then he didn't just reply, or I think I said it in passing or something. I was also not convicted. I didn't have conviction, maybe in asking, like these guys did to me. But the conviction for me that changed was the moment I made some money in Cyprus. I was like, okay, let me help my grandmother move from the village to the city, and that big move was substantial for me. Able to help her. It's very heartwarming, and it made me have impact. Because the key thing I've been looking for my life was impact. Where can I move a piece, and it can be felt by people? And I believe, okay, so I'm doing something. I'm actually, assertive. I'm actually,
making a change
in the world. That's what I'm looking for. I did that for my grandmother as a young man, as a student in Cyprus, and that gave me so much warmth and fulfillment until my grandma passed. But then when my grandma passed, the rest of the family was still relying on that those few drops of love. These are able-bodied people. This is not like people who are older than me. Able-bodied, they are getting jobs. They are more capable than me, maybe. But they're now saying, "Oh, it's easy because all I have to do every month is just send a text or send a call Prince. He will send me money." And even animals do this. There's an experiment done with pigeons. They put a button. You have to press a button and food will drop. It will keep pressing the button and keep getting the food. They're doing the same thing. I trained them. It was my fault. It was not their fault. They are not in the wrong. It's us as the immigrants who are on the other side of the pond who are enabling them. Because now you see you are free. You said, I don't have.
Yeah, I don't have.
Yeah. And now I had to do something. And then I used the religious religion. I said, share the little you have. And then I'm sitting down, I'm walking and driving downtown. I'm there like, okay, so what's the difference between me and these guys that are homeless? I just made my rent. Just paid the rent yesterday. That's the difference. If I miss one day rent, I'm here.
Yeah.
so what am I doing? What am I doing here? So sometimes God blesses us, but you need to understand, okay, if only part of your blessing is appreciated and the rest is ignored. There's so many lessons if we use religion. There's so many lessons from the Bible that if you just use the bread and the fish and forget the wisdom that Jesus was giving that day, then you miss it.
Yeah.
Or even when the lady was like, the lady at the well, I'm thirsty. I'll give you water that you don't need to drink. Don't need to get thirsty again after you drink this one. But if you say, no, I don't want that, just keep giving me water. That's what Africa is doing. That's how it feels like for me on my side. Because I'm like, oh, they're saying, I just want, just use, keep sending. Forget whatever us starting a business. No. We don't want to do any work. We don't want work. We just want you to you do the work. We enjoy the fruits. Also, don't tell us what to do, huh? You know,
it is funny.
It's a very funny position, but all in all, we are the enablers. We are the ones who are wrong. I took accountability and said, you know what? Yeah, I was one who was wrong for enabling them. And now, since they don't want my advice and I don't have any money, what is there to talk about? All you wanted me was my money, right? So now there's nothing to talk about. Let's okay. We move, you know. Yeah, it's a sad reality.
Yeah, that's a sad reality. I mean, talking about all of that to the family and everything. Coming here, would you say the Canadian community that you find yourself in, are they being supportive as compared to like as you said, and your family back home was always trying to
absolutely
tax you for something?
Absolutely. In fact, I have better experiences with my clients than my own family. With my clients, I'm impacting their lives, I'm changing their homes, I'm transforming their homes, I'm doing many things. And I'm giving them my expertise, I'm giving them my knowledge and my experience in construction, and I'm literally transforming their home from their vision, drawings, to real life. And they're actually living in the spaces, they're enjoying the houses, they're enjoying the living spaces, I'm upgrading the kitchens, upgrading their bathrooms, doing all these things. And they enjoy their life that way. In Africa, most of the family in question were uninterested in the financial aspect of it. So they're just waiting for the... And I'm there like, okay. So, but then when I try to give him knowledge, instead of us relying on me paying all this time, why don't I give you this large sum, open this business or do this, or let's do some research on how to open something that can benefit everyone. And then John is not working. Let John be the one to do this one. Let Sam come and do this. Let people get involved in family business and actually impact community. But they don't want to, you see, because you cannot transfer knowledge. That's one of the things I realized. I learned this in Cyprus. I was like, oh, I would like one day to open a center that I can have hands-on knowledge and experience and, what I learned from traveling from different cultures. But then I realized the student has to be willingly to learn. So if they don't want to learn, you are wasting
your time.
And one thing I realized is we have an arrogance issue in Africa. They have, their cup is full. They don't want to learn anything else. They know everything.
They always feel like they don't know everything.
They know everything. What can you teach me?
Everything.
One thing that gave me a superpower in learning languages, because I am a polyglot. I can speak about 7 to 8 languages. The reason I can learn all these languages is because I'm willing to empty my cup. I'm willing to say, you know what, teach me. I know nothing. Then the people come and willingly teach me. But Africa, they say they know everything. So you cannot impact them. You cannot say, instead of doing this, do that. They believe they know everything, and you cannot impact their lives. That's a challenge we have. But I remember I said before, it is a sad reality, but I think it is what it is, because we try to look at it and say, people decide or what they want the outcomes to be, and the people really, they are aware of what they're doing. If you had a paycheck every time you make one phone call, wouldn't you make that phone call every day?
Oh yeah, I will.
Exactly. So they do that as well. We are the ones who are being an ATM.
We are the ATM.
We are the ATMs. We are the ones who are wrong.
Call and then
they just make one phone call and they cash, cha-ching. So it's not, they are not the ones to blame. And also, I don't want to look at it like as a moral thing. I'm like, okay, they are wrong or whatever. It's an opportunity. It's a chance. In nature, even in nature happens, even with plants. I do it with landscaping. If a weed has a space in the garden, it will grow. It will grow. In fact, it will use all the nutrients from the good plants, and it will become, a dandelion can become a tree if you don't weed it out properly. So we are the ones who are enabling this, and we have to be the ones to weed them out and see what is essential. And there are the reasons I have this mindset is because I was curious enough to learn it. That I actually went in the shop. I'm willing to go to the shop to sweat. I'm willing to work something. But the other people may not have the same power or willingness to willingly to learn and do something. So
And then would you say all of that has affected how you make friends, and then how you make friends here? Then
absolutely everywhere in every aspect. In fact, when I left Cyprus, that's when I realized that it was a psychological warfare before. I remember I was willingly giving information about all my students and all the students I was managing, and because in Cyprus I was managing 2,500 students. That's big feat for a young man, and we had no manager. But I couldn't be the manager because I'm not a Cypriot. So that's why the nationalism came in. But that on another day.
I see.
So I reached the ceiling in the university, in the organization.
Okay.
Like the only thing I would do above that is become a lecturer.
Okay.
Like be a professor or something to teach, but I don't want to teach. So I started. I hit the ceiling. There's no other position I could get into, but I was getting involved and speaking to everyone, And the key thing that I realized, okay, so as much as I'm impacting lives and helping people, they are just trying to get in my position. They're trying to see how does he run? Like, how can I, how can I intercept? How can I? I'm there like, why are we plotting against me all the time? I only realized this when I left, because I started replaying some conversations I had before. Because you have to have some introspection in life as often as you can. See interactions you had with people, and was that mutually beneficial, or was I getting sent to the shops? Or if I was getting sent to the shops, was it willingly, or like what happened in that conversation? What happened in this interaction? And I realized 90% of all the interactions were leeches, plotting. Africa, at least they're overt about it. They're very clear. I'm taking your money, bring it. but in Cyprus, it was more, or Middle East, I guess, it was more of that. I'm getting close to you so I can learn about you and see how I can.
Yeah, I can surpass you. Or
surpass you something.
I get it.
But here it's more corporate. If someone wants to get to you, they go the long way around.
I see. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. But then, do you still feel connected to like your home country, Zambia?
Absolutely, yes. I'm proudly Zambian. If everyone has these small family issues, that is inevitable, especially in. I think that's how it was created, because if each family was peaceful and lovely, then who would travel? You wouldn't need to leave. Sure. You wouldn't need to learn anything new. The reason why even seeds, I talk about plants, seeds disperse their seed. When the fruit is ripe, they disperse the seed, so they travel, they go everywhere. They even bees pollinate different flowers everywhere. Yeah. They travel everywhere. So it's not about hating the family or something, or something that would cause me to turn back on my country. I love Zambia. I'm born and raised, or not raised, but I was born there. But I enjoy the people, the culture, and everything. The whole country is amazing, and I would definitely recommend people to visit the country. This is just the personal experience in families. So I have some British friends as well who also then moved away from their family because of similar issues, but of course in a different level, because they have different issues to us. So each person has different issues, but there's no beautiful family. That's why all these shows, all these Kardashian shows, to us is not reality. I mean, in fact, you see it already. You see the drama in between those countries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. So, I mean, trying to bring everything to the end, what kind of advice would you say, or would you give to immigrants coming to Canada? What are the things to expect? What are the things to actually prepare your minds, or it will be mentally strong and then not fall into what's the word?
Traps, depression.
Yeah, depression, exactly, and everything.
Yeah. So one of the things that helped me, as I mentioned before, was curiosity.
Yeah.
So the mindset is the most important thing. What I learned from all these countries was my resilience and mental fortitude. In fact, Cyprus was where I became a man, I would say. I had so much mental fortitude, so many things were happening, so much chaos. And I was able to stay composed and actually look at the important things I actually had control of. One of the things is, as you travel, you will find people who try to push you around or push out of your skin.
Yeah.
In any country you go to. But the key thing is now understanding, okay, so what can I control? One of the things that I look at is focus on what you can control. Forget getting depressed or getting sad about something that is not out of your control. Like that's why in the beginning I said the only thing that I was shocked about was the weather. But since I couldn't control it, to sleep. What am I doing anything? I can't control it.
You all just have to adapt.
Yeah. So the key thing is understanding your mind and having that mindset of being open to anything. I wouldn't advise people to expect anything. But my philosophy in life is don't expect anything, and the world is your oyster. Everything happens. And for me, I've been very blessed that doors just open for me. Doors open here and there. I do have some clients that I did work with from 2 years ago. They are referring new business clients to me, and I'm actually touching their, like a future generation basically. So we have the grandparents before, now they're giving their kids, and that goes on because of the impact, and also they see the glow in my eyes when I'm working. They see the glow in my eyes when I'm impacting their lives. They see how involved I am in all these projects and how much love I have for transforming their homes and things like that. So something that I believe, is important.
Yeah. But I mean, with expectations, just like I said, a friend of mine told me, I mean, expectations are just like assumptions.
Yeah.
And then what he said was, assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you start assuming things, everything can go bad.
Yeah, because you made the conclusion.
Yes.
That's why in Africa we have many issues, because everyone's made the conclusion already.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's funny? Right now, the family I told you about, I'm seen as a villain. Because I said, I advise you to do this so that you have more money than calling me every 1 month to ask me for money. And now I don't have any money. So who loses? You see, we all lose. I lose the connection with you because since you put me in a category, you put a label on me that you only want me for money. There's nothing I can impact you. The knowledge that I have, the expertise, all this I learned, all these countries I've traveled, I have all this knowledge to give you, to impact you. But since you don't want the knowledge, you just want...
Yeah, they just want money.
I have nothing to give you. Like, what are we going to talk about on the phone? You see? So the key thing is the mindset. Because you have to be fluid, malleable. Don't be, be like water, my friend. One of my favorite quotes was Bruce Lee. Be like water. When water is poured into a cup, it becomes the cup. When water is poured into a teapot, it becomes a teapot.
Yeah.
When water freezes, it becomes hard like a rock. It can become hard. It can become soft. It can become air, vapor. Be like water. Be malleable. But they want to be solid rocks.
No, they want to be solid.
Solid rocks, and they don't want to move. They don't want to change their mind. I've made my mind dark. Prince is evil. Doesn't pick up our calls, or he doesn't, he doesn't send us any money anymore. But they forget he's been sending money for 6 years, 10 years. They don't forget that.
And they always focus on the
today, now. That's why I've seen it. There's a picture, that image of a prisoner stuck in a jail cell. And then it's given 2 options. Do you want the key to come out of the jail cell, or do you want bread? Africa is choosing bread. Let me eat today. Forget about breaking out of this prison.
Yeah.
Let me just eat. I'm starving. Let me eat something. So that's how people choose to feed themselves immediately, because the overwhelming emotion of anger is what causes them to make the decision, the rational decision. But if they were the wiser, they would break out of the prison they're in their mind, get the bread. Because the bread is outside. You get that bread, and you can go and get more bread. You can make more bread.
You get the key and then go make more bread.
But it's a fear mentality. They operate on fear. They are so afraid. That's why, if you notice, religion works more on the fearful, because you need hope. They're afraid. You need hope. You need something. If you notice, the Caucasians are not heavily on religion like Africa is, because they believe, I have to wake up in the morning. I've got a 9 to 5. The first time I heard 9 to 5 was in the West. There's nothing like 9 to 5 in Africa. I mean, people do work 9 to 5, but they don't say it's not the majority. It was, we're pushing, we're trying. What are you trying? They're hiring. If you can say, hello, how are you doing? If you can call me and say, Prince, send me money, you can say, hello, welcome to McDonald's. Get a job, man. Why? I'm getting a job. You get a job, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having the time to come and then let us do this. And then, as I believe, We are all trying to find new routes wherever we go.
Exactly.
The journey, always the journey. You might move from one place to the other, but we are all trying to make new routes. We are all trying to make new routes and then build a proper, a proper foundation, to represent ourselves. So thank you, my brother.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. You see that sound? That sound, that is it, man, right there. Man.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
man. So yeah, real quick. So people, you can find me on Instagram, Prince_Lubosi, and also the business, the home services business, princeworks.ca. You can check that out.
Yeah, and then we are going to put the handles on the description, so you can follow him and follow his channel, Prince Lubosi, and then follow his content. So he does amazing work. Thank you, everyone, and then catch you in the next one. Peace.